Hello and welcome to Tarot Siddhi at voicesinviews.com. My name is Prasiddhi Mishra and I'm a tarot reader. We've been on this tarot journey for quite a while now, and in this episode we'll be talking about the moon and the sun, two very important, very powerful cards. And when you look at the moon card, everything related to the moon comes to the surface. Emotions, feelings, what's going on in your heart, how your path is still not very clear, because the moonlight does not really show us everything. It creates illusions. It doesn't show us the path very correctly. Now, looking at the imagery of this card, you can see there's this big bright yellow moon with a face on it and little yellow drops of dew falling from it. In a few cards, in a few tarot decks, this is also blood. But here it's yellow, so I suppose that they've not shown it very gravely. And there are two dogs. One is a wolf and one is a dog. This one is a dog, this one is a wolf, the yellow one. And here you have a scorpion. Just the image of this whole card and all these characters, that's what they're trying to portray, is that it's all dark. It's a dark night. No one knows what they want, what they're doing. It's a little bit of insane energy in this card, and we all know that lunacy, the word lunatic, is from the word Luna, and Luna is the moon, and Luna was the goddess of moon. So Luna, every time you see the word Luna, it's related to moon in some or the other way. So yeah, there could be a temporary energy of madness in someone's life, some insanity happening, and it's very much possible that the situation is so bad that a person has lost their mental balance. And the moon creates illusions also. So for example, if you've been dreaming to achieve something in your life and the moon card keeps coming in the future prediction position, it means that nothing is set, nothing is clear. You might really be fooling yourself here, so pay attention. This path is really not the right path for you to walk into. The three characters that are shown in this card is a wolf, a dog and a scorpion. Now what would this scorpion mean? This actually is the kind of people in our life who pull us back, who hurt us when it's dark, when it's not clear, when we won't be able to trace them. So the kind of energy of this card is that beware, look out, and don't take really strong decisions about your life right now, because this is the time to curl up, to be quiet, to be with yourself. Please don't try to go ahead and make something happen in this phase of your life, because A, you're thinking incorrectly, B, your path is not clear, and C, there are people and energies in your life that are trying to pull you back. This is definitely not the time to go ahead and do something. This is a very feminine energy. We must remember that sun is the masculine force and the moon is the feminine force, and the feminine draws within. It's a receptive kind of an energy. It's polar opposite of the sun, which goes out and is active. It's the yin-yang balance here. So when this is happening, it's the yin energy, it's the female energy, and it's the energy of being drawn towards within yourself rather than going out and doing something. You should wait for your time to come. You should wait for a little bit of clarity to dawn upon you and then move forward, because now your emotions are clouding your decision-making ability. Your emotions are coming in between. You can't see your path clearly and you're feeling very low, because moon is the only planet in our horoscope, in our chart, that talks about our feelings and emotions and how they are affecting our decisions in life. If someone is not going correctly in their life, if they are going through a phase in their life where they're really low, depressed, depression is actually a disease, but I would say they're sad and they are really in a very low phase of their life and not feeling well emotionally also, you can always say that their moon is retrograde, or moon is not in a very good shape. There must be something wrong with the energies of the moon. And sometimes when this card comes, it also talks about moon's position in your chart not being in a favorable position. So you can actually come up with a horoscope spread also if you are an astrologer, and if you know about these planets and how they mean, then you can actually draw a complete horoscope, a complete birth chart, and put each card in its position however it comes after shuffling, and you can have a complete kundli kind of a setup coming forward from your tarot cards also. And you have at least the sun and the moon here. You don't have other planets, but you do have these two very important planets here, and their meaning will always come forward. Now this is exactly what this card is talking about. It's talking about lack of clarity, lack of direction, and also lunacy of some kind. This is a temporarily mad period, There is a serious madness involved. So every time this card comes for someone, I would say that they need to meditate, they need to calm down, they need to get their priorities straight. And if they are not able to do any of this, then at least stop going out and doing things, because the things they will say will hurt others, because they themselves are feeling so sad and negative. So Moon is exactly what this card stands for, and this is all this card is trying to say. If you reverse it, it's even worse. The energies of the Moon have gone retrograde, gone downward, they've spiraled downward. Really not a time. It actually could be talking about someone's psychiatric illness and a mental illness here. So this is a very, very serious card when it comes in a reading, especially when it reverses itself. After having spoken about the Moon and its emotional content, let's talk about the Sun and the bright energy that it brings. Look at this card. It's my most favorite card. It's any tarot reader's favorite card in a tarot deck. This is so bright, so cheerful, so beautiful. I cannot stop talking about its beauty right now, so let's go directly to that. This is bright yellow sun, and you see a boy, cheerful, happy boy, a few flowers behind him, 4 flowers, and sitting on a horse, which sometimes also looks like a unicorn in some decks. There's this wall behind him, so he's basically in a very stable position, very joyful, very happy. Now there are many meanings associated with the sun. For example, a pregnant lady asks you a question or has come for a reading, and the sun keeps coming. Although she will definitely have a baby, which is for sure, there'll be a lot of happiness in her life. She might have a baby boy, because the sun is also the sun. And when you look at this card for the first time, pay attention. In fact, not just this, but every tarot card. Your gaze falls where? Now you look at this card, maybe the first thing that you spotted was the baby or the sun. This always takes your attention. So this means a joyful, bright period of enlightenment. There's a lot of light coming, bright light coming in your life. So you're going to be very aware, very together person. You know where you're headed in life. Your direction is clear. That's why the boy is sitting on the horse. He's going somewhere and he knows where he's going. He's very happy and cheerful. There's this innocent feeling attached to this card. It's all pure, it's young, it's rejuvenated, it's everything that we all desire deep within our hearts. This is also a card in the Major Arcana which talks about wish fulfillment. Now when you start reading the tarot, it's very, very important that you pay attention to which element of the card that your gaze falls the first. The moment you lay the card on the table, what you see in the beginning, what is the first thing that you notice? Is it the sun? Then this is what is the message for you. Is it the boy? Then that is the message. That's the message of innocence and joy and purity and love and newness. It's a new beginning that is happening. Is it the horse, which is like power, which is a path which is opened up for you, which is you knowing where you're heading in your life. Sometimes it's unicorn, which is a divine intervention, divine energy coming in your life. This card is beautiful. It's drawn in the most bright way. This card can never really be negative, according to me, unless and until other cards accompanying it are showing you something and talking to you about something else happening here. But other than that, the sun always indicates something positive. Now, when you reverse this card, it just means that this joy that is supposed to be coming to you is blocked. There's always the word block. When you see reversed cards, always remember, cards sometimes reverse themselves on their own. Because while you're shuffling, they might just reverse. You don't see, you put them in the opposite direction. And you find out the next thing you know is that your cards are reversed. And let the cards do what they're doing in the beginning. Let them behave the way they are behaving. Let them fall, reverse or straight or whichever way they are. And you just put them in order. You don't have to put them open. You have to keep them closed. Remember, just keep them closed. But let them be in any way possible. From the other side, you cannot really find out what side is it facing. So when this is reversed, the tarot itself is trying to convey something to you. So pay attention to the message. Reverse cards just mean blockages, delays, things taking time to happen, things getting stuck in a situation, or plain and simple things getting even worse. But you will get a feeling in your heart. The sun, even if it reverses itself, doesn't really mean much harm, but it will depend upon the rest of the tone of the reading, the feeling tone of the reading. So I put it straight again. And there's this, the beautiful flowers. There's a pattern of joy and nature. This also means going back to nature, going back to your natural state of being, going out in the sun, going out of your house, spending your energy outside. And it's not just roaming around in the garden, it also means going out with your plans. If you had some cherished plans you wanted to fulfill, now is the time to act on them. Like moon was asking you to stay back and retrieve, sun is asking you to go out and act on it, because it's a masculine energy card. It demands action. It's not just talk. It's not introspection time anymore. You have to go out and do it. It's a situation where the time is just right. It's a fertile ground. Whatever you sow, you will reap a lot of abundance. So this card is also a card of abundance and joy, especially when a baby comes in someone's life. He or she brings a lot of abundance and joy. It's a new expression of life that has come in front of us. So this is exactly what this card, the sun, means. And with this, I come to the end of today's episode. We've spoken about the moon and the sun, two very, very powerful planets in our birth charts and in our galaxy, in our solar system. So in the next episode, we'll be looking at the last two cards, the major arcana of tarot, the Judgment and the World. That is the final leap in the consciousness of the Fool, the journey of the Fool, or you could say the hero or the man or whatever, but I'll call him the Fool because that's the first character of tarot. The Fool, it takes a fool to start something new, to take a leap of faith. You know, sometimes you have to just follow your heart. The world might call you a fool, but that's exactly the kind of energy you need. You have to be just a little bit whimsical to just jump into the projects that you need to follow in life. And when you reach the stage of the world, it means that you in your personal life have reached a new leap, a new year, a completely new cycle. And it could also mean at the soul level, you're at the fag end of your journey. That also sometimes, in very, very spiritual terms, I would say, is your last life, your last visit to planet Earth. It's a time of celebration for all the people who especially do these mind, body, soul readings, which we do only once in life, or maybe once or twice in between if you're really looking for direction. But doing that spread in your life just once is also good enough. You'd ask the tarot for the state of your mind, state of your body, and state of your soul. And if at the soul level you get a card like the World, be happy, because the whole cycle is now coming to an end for you. You're at the last fag end of this tunnel, and you're going to be seeing another higher dimension from now on. You have ascended to a higher state, and you will see all these feelings coming forward when you look at the imagery of the card next week. So I hope to see you next week again. I will tell you how this major arcana talks about the entire journey of our soul. It's a soul journey, it's not just the body. So I'll be looking forward to the next episode, and I hope to see you again. Happy living.